I'm from Indiana. I'm from central Indiana. Indiana is the veneering capital of the world. I believe Indiana accounts for about 60% of all the veneer in the United States of America and a high percentage of the veneer in the entire world. In America right now, when we cut veneer, we cut on, it used to be what they call the 1/40th of an inch standard. And today it's at 1/42nd. What that means is for every 1 inch of solid wood, they can cut that into 42 pieces of veneer, which is about 18 thousandths of an inch thick. The European standard is 1/54th, so they cut 54 pieces for every inch. The Japanese right now are cutting 1/120th of an inch, which is about 6 thousandths. Now the difference between us and the Japanese is the way that we cut here and in Europe is we use these great big machines that have big hydraulic cutting systems that either rotate the log, and as the log rotates, a knife can come up in, and it keeps cutting, and it keeps rotating, and it makes this long peel cut. It's called rotary cutting. It's like taking toilet paper and just pulling it off the roll. You get this long, continuous sheet of plywood. And that's typically what they use for the plies of veneer core plywood, and it's also what they use on rotary cut plywoods, which are usually your cheaper grade plywoods. The second way that we cut veneer is plain sliced, and that's more common, and that creates the more expensive veneer. That's probably what you see here on your doors, but that's where they take the log, and a knife goes up and down and just makes these cuts. As it cuts, it keeps every piece of veneer in absolute sequential order from how it was cut from the log. There's no waste, there's no scrap, there's no sawdust, there's no shaving. One of the things that they do when they get the logs in is they go through and they have to debark it, take the bark off. They have to check it for metal. From there, they take it and they cut the log into what's called a flitch, which is basically just taking the log and splitting it in half. So now you've got two halves. Each one of these halves is a flitch. And then they take those two flitches and then they put them back together again. They just band them back. So now it's a log again. They take and then they throw them in these great big vats of hot water. And they have to soak for a period of time. They won't tell you how long exactly it is because every manufacturer has different rules about how long it takes to get their walnut to be exactly this color and how this guy makes his maple this color of white. But it's pure water that they put them in. And they have to heat them. They heat it up to about 180 degrees for X amount of days or X amount of hours. Now the reason that they heat it, and when they cut these logs on those machines that I was telling you about, the logs are still steaming. They're actually very hot. And the knife has to be equally the same temperature, else it'll shatter. So they have to keep their knives hot too. But the reason we heat the veneer so much is to super soften the lignin, the glue that's holding all the fiber together. And it'll be much easier to cut that away. And at the same time, it helps to balance color. I mean, you all hear at times about why Pennsylvania cherry is a better cherry to have. Well, part of it has to do with their steaming process before it goes into the kiln. Why Indiana walnut is so much better than everybody else is because we steam it before it goes into the kiln. And this boiling process helps to balance color, turn the sapwood a little bit darker or blend it more with the heartwood.